Hey everybody, Sarah at Nova again, and we have another Norton Commando to talk about this week. This one is a bike we've seen a few times over the years, and it's actually I've come to like it quite a bit. We've done quite a bit of work to it. It's a 73 850, you can see by the badging. It would have been the first year of the 850s, up from the 750s. And this customer brought it to us after having purchased it, rode a little bit. He brought it from another shop and wasn't so happy with what had happened at the other shop, and so he wanted us to go through it. So, long story short, there wasn't anything wrong with it, but we started on it, started a relationship with the customer, and have been working on it. Little things it has the Makuni single carb upgrade. A lot of people love that. It does definitely improve your low end throttle response. Really, your more idle around town kind of behavior. A little more civilized than the twin amyls. I'm a purist. I like the twin amyls, but if this is working for you, no problem. It does make it a little more mellow mannered. We have the inline check valve, which is in addition to the check valve in the oil pump, which stops wet sumping or anti-wet sump valve. Controversial item for some. The reason why it's controversial is you're adding two more points that can possibly suck air. Your pump is on this end of this hose, so if you have a leak here, you're going to actually be pulling air in there, and it's going to lose the prime on the pump and not pump as much oil. I generally understand that as a fear, but as long as you stay on top of not letting these things get loose, they're actually really handy, and they do a lot of good as well as harm, not wet sumping your motor and blowing out seals and doing all sorts of nasty stuff and having a really hard time starting it is a benefit. So as with anything in a Brit bike, keep your eyes on it, and it should be good. By this time, 1973, these are running disc brakes. You got the Lockheed English-made stuff. Pretty good. Even Norton Lockheed, they branded it. So that's pretty normal. Although the first time around on this, we did oh my god, my Brembo, excuse me, my brain is starting to fade on me. Brembo master cylinder upgrade and stainless steel lines, which definitely helps improve the feel of this stuff. And then this time around, we added this kit. So this is available from Colorado Norton Works, and this kit also from Colorado Norton Works. This is a bushing, a seal holder extender, which moves the seal up and actually has a bigger top bushing in it, and the bushing is impregnated with Teflon, I believe, possibly graphite. No, I didn't read the fine print, but a much more slippery substance than just the bronze standard bushing. So it increases the holding area, giving you better stiffness. It decreases the unsupported area on the fork, and it slides much better than the original one. I'm using a similar setup on my my race bike, my Velocet race bike, but I'm using one made by Constantino Motorworks. So different versions of the same thing. And as I've said before in other Norton videos, the aftermarket for these things is just awesome. You have companies like Colorado Norton Works, NYC Norton, Cosentino Engineering, and just RGM Norton. You got the whole bunch of stuff out there that's making stuff for these things, so you can really keep these things on the road. The Norton Commando is, in my mind, one of the best classics because it is the most like a modern machine that any twin cylinder classic is going to be like that. I'm going to make that twin cylinder only because the fours from the 70s were pretty darn smooth, the Japanese bikes, and they feel also much more like modern bikes. But the twin here, you really feels like a proper vintage bike. It's snorty, it's a long stroke motor, but it's isolastically mounted, which means it isolates the engine vibrations from the rider position. So it really feels smooth. You don't get tired from riding it. Riding a classic bike that's a big single or a big twin can really take it out of you because your hands just vibrate, your feet vibrate, everything vibrates, and it just it just kind of gets to be less fun after a while. So the Commandos are really nice, really smooth, and as far as owning a classic bike goes, they're one that can keep up with modern bikes fairly well. It's pretty cool. So as I said, we've worked on this bike for a while, and then a few years ago, the owner he crashed it, and he crashed it pretty good. Never want to really hear that. He got in the hospital for a little bit. He said a little ding here, but he's pulled through just fine, and we're fixing the bike for him to ride again. And as bad as it is when somebody crashes a bike, it also means that the classic bike was getting ridden as they should, not just on Sunday rides, but he was out, he was riding, and typically we think about accidents as a car pulls out in front of you or something like that, but he just went too fast around a corner and lost it. So not a great thing, but but it means this guy he was riding a bike, and he's passionate about it. So we've had to do quite a bit of work to get it back. The front forks were trashed. If you look at our Instagram, we have some pictures of this before. The front forks were bent and twisted, and the triple tree was also tweaked. So we've got new fork legs here, and then we had to spend quite a bit of time straightening the triple tree. And we thought about getting some new ones, but we decided that we could get these back into spec. And these are all made of fairly malleable soft iron. So as long as you don't go too far, too fast, and too much, they will move around pretty well. And you feel kind of powerful when you're moving metal around. So that was kind of fun. He needed a whole new headlight bucket, headlight ears. Surprisingly, the blinker stems survived this accident, but the lenses didn't. So he replaced his lenses there. On this side of the bike, you'll notice there's no pipe here. This pipe was completely crushed. This foot peg was bent up, rubber was gone, and then back here you see some damage here from where the pipe. This is the pipe holder, isoelastically mounted pipe holder. You see that has a little dent in it there. And on the other side, that actually broke a little bit too. So it's kind of weird. The bike definitely went down on the right-hand side, but there was some damage on the left side too, probably from hitting, stuff as it slid. Other than that, I think we did handlebars. Yep, and surprisingly, the tank, given how bad the front end is, it's amazing how much was not damaged on this. The tank has that one dent on it, and another little chip, but it could have been far worse than that. Oh, the fender was completely replaced. I have a feeling we're going to replace the wheel. We want to ride the bike first. It has a little bit of a hitch in it, and we didn't do anything about it yet. We want to ride everything else, make sure it tracks straight before we go into that. But we'll take that off and try to true it because it wasn't that bad. But if it won't come out, we'll replace the rim, rebuild that wheel. And what else? Other than that, we had to go do some stuff that it just had from storage. It's been about 4 years in storage. So clean the carb, go through the ignition, new battery, clean some electrical connections, make sure everything is working there. But yeah, we're waiting on a pipe, and then we'll fire it up. So
see, the carb is not meant for aircraft.
Not for aircraft use, as Mikuni puts that on all their aftermarket carbs. Our litigious society makes for some funny stickers. That's for sure. Yeah, so stay tuned for this. See some running video of this one. Again, I love it. I love it when people ride their vintage bikes. I never want to see somebody crash one. But just like in the world of racing, if you're not using it, if you never use it, nothing will ever happen. And that's just a fact. So it's better to go out and try, have some fun with it. We roll the dice every time we get on the bike, and if you wear your proper gear, all that, you can walk away from stuff like this and fix it up and go out and do it again. So yeah, so if you have any thoughts about Commandos, please chime in the comments. If you have any fun stories about narrow escapes, don't always want to hear them, but it's part of the game. So share what you can with it, as long as it's PG-13. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.